Hi, Mr. Smith. I play Rune Ravenswood, as usual. Maybe I'll destroy something tonight,
We'll see. Jen?
like my soul.
Hi, I'm Jen. I play the Vesperin, the Sea Elf Rogue, who might have made a mistake. I don't know. It's fine. We don't think about that.
Mistake what?
Spence?
I have tea. Tea is good. I'm Spence. I am playing Aldonis, our warg cleric. And yeah, it's about to get interesting in here.
I think so. Daniel?
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm directing tonight, so I'm the source of all your more quandaries and your technical woes. So I play Sailix Lavendale, who has lost his goddamn mind, and I can't wait to find out how this is going to play out.
Yes, 100% that. Tonight's session is brought to you by Smiteworks, the creators of Fantasy Grounds Unity, which you can see on the screen. We've been using them throughout the campaign to manage all aspects of the virtual tabletop. We're also using the Only Sheet, which is an Excel-based management tool for Pathfinder 1st and 2nd edition, as well as Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 and 5th edition. And our music tonight, you're hearing a song called Entity by Rocknarden. We'll have more of him later, and our ambience by Michael Gelfi. You can check them out in the show notes. But let's get into the game. So we left on the sea in pursuit of the Starlit Triad. Sailix, you're above deck. I imagine most people are. You haven't quite closed the gap yet, but you can feel the storm coming. The wind getting more intense by the second. You like that feeling, though. It's familiar to you. It's something Reika would enjoy. What do you do in preparation? Because your ship is traveling faster than this enemy ship. You expect to intercept soon. What do you do in preparation?
Grin like a madman. He goes up to Vesprim, and he kind of hands her this curved piece of metal. It kind of looks like a shield, really, without the strap on the inside of it. And it has what you would probably notice as a large amount of black powder in the center of a disc. And he hands it to her. And he's like, "You're good at swimming, right?"
I feel like she would just look at him and just give him that look of like, really? Just no response, just a look.
Good. So, when we get close, I need you to place this on the hull of the ship. Anywhere will do. And then you smack the center, and then you wait.
Now, one thing, Ian, do I recognize what this black powder is?
You have no idea. It must, I mean, maybe an explosive of some sort. Salix seems to know what he's talking about, though.
Okay. So, let me understand this correctly. You want me to swim on up, exposed as you like, right in front of this other fucking ship that's guns are blazing and gonna be doing everything in their power to rain hell upon me. Put this on the side and then just hang out there, hoping for the best till I get blown up or have the ship come on down on top of me. Does that sound about right?
Yes. No.
Rune, what are you doing? It's this. The gap
Rune
is
is-
closing.
Rune is just closely. He's standing at the bow of the current ship, just waiting, watching what the other ship is doing.
I got a better idea. So, like, we got that wizard who can move things without touching him. So that means when he don't gotta get worried about blowing up. Yeah?
For one, you're going to be swimming underwater. They're not going to be watching under the water. It needs to be placed on the bottom of the ship somewhere to then rupture, and the ship will take on water. If you don't feel like you can do it, I'll do it. Or we both can go. I'll keep them off of you, until you place the charge, and then I'll get you out of there.
Done.
All right. Sailix starts removing large parts of his armor. The heavy parts.
And I feel like Vesperin would just kind of watch. Just like, okay.
Aldonis, what are you doing?
I am going to first cast, that spell. The only healing spell that I have.
Vital Beacon.
That one. Yeah. Whoa. And because that'll last all day. And
Good. You recognize that dark magic.
yeah. I shift into my wolf form first, so, and get everybody prepared for that. Because then I have my nice shimmery coat.
It catches the captain's eye. He moves towards you. Before you do that, Vesperin, you dive in the water then.
Yep.
As the gap begins to close. Sailix, what do you do?
He flies into the air.
Excellent. Rune, you see men on the top. They're loading cannons. What do you do?
You'd mentioned there was a storm rumbling.
The rain has already started. Heavy wind, too.
Rune smiles as he allows his staff to just float next to him. He begins to move his hands in a pattern, creating arcane symbols in the air as sparks of electricity begin dancing between the raindrops, climbing up to the sky. As a bolt of lightning strikes him, engulfing his body in electricity, he takes on the elemental form of air.
What do you look like after this?
So, as the lightning strikes him from the bottom of his feet all the way up, his body begins to shift and change, taking on a very electrifying form, vaguely humanoid, floating there, his staff becoming a bolt of lightning in and of itself. With a 80-foot movement, it looks like lightning strikes as he dances across the water, sparks and bolts of lightning hurling him forward towards the other ship.
That's plenty to get you there. Sailix, are you in the air right now? Are you flying?
He is, and he looks down at Rune, and he's like, show off.
You can see the outline. Vesperin making her way to underneath the ship. But suddenly, from the double doors towards the lower deck, they burst open. A demon, nearly identical to the one you've seen before at the war cage. It emerges, and it's headed towards Rune. Got a couple of options here. What do you do?
So
Vesperin, you don't see this, however.
Sailix is above the whole scene. He sees the demon rushing towards Rune. Is it walking on the water?
No, Rune has landed on the ship.
Oh.
Anywhere he would like. He had cleared the distance.
How close is Vesperin? Like, does it look like she met the ship yet and she's swimming back up?
Nah, she's almost there.
All right. He's going to begin his descent to dive into the water.
Excellent. Aldonis, you feel stuck. Your party has begun a assault here. What do you do? You're muted, by the way.
I look over at the captain who has noticed me and be like, I guess I wait until we get closer.
He's gonna look up. Top of the ship. Can you climb?
Kinda. Why?
If you've got the balls for it, that rope will get you across. Put some swing into it.
Oh, well, that'll be fun. Okay. And so in warg form, with my weird paws, I will climb the rigging to get to the rope that he's indicating. And then just grab a hold of a spot with a knot in it with my mouth and think, Lama Stew, protect me.
Rune, where do you land?
Were we coming up behind, beside, or to the front?
We were coming from behind, so you could get basically anywhere with your movement.
He's aiming for the mast.
Excellent. You can land atop it if you'd like.
Wherever's easiest to destroy it.
Oh, interesting. Okay. How would you like to destroy it?
So in his current elemental form, as I said, his staff has taken on basically the image of or the form of a lightning bolt as he just continues to strike at the masts with electricity, attempting to just tear them down.
Perfect. Roll me some dice. Below the water, Vesperin, you hear a loud sound and a pillar of bubbles diving in. Sailix is behind you, as he promised, but you're just about where you need to be. It's very easy for you to keep pace with this ship. Charges in your hand. Do you place it?
Yes.
I'm going to need an athletics check
Oh god.
when you do. Sailix, charges.
Ah!
I need you to make an athletics check as well. Ooh.
The sea is my domain.
Always has been.
You scared the hell out of me just now.
I'm sorry.
I love you.
I love you too. I was just very excited.
You two
Okay.
dart out just in time for a explosion. Rune, you feel it. The place shakes. Just as you were trying to make that attack, go ahead and roll an attack. Versus. Actually, is it an attack roll or is it a save?
I'm presuming it would be an attack roll.
Okay, make me an attack roll. As you strike the pillar, you notice the demon is headed towards you. It's quite tall. I mean, it might not be able to reach you from here, but you have the attention of the crew on board. It hits, roll damage. Excellent. It's split down the middle, but it hasn't broken off yet. With the way the wind's going, it might just topple. Sailix, Vesperin, there's a hole in this ship. Water's pouring in. Do you follow it?
Sailix will nod to the Vesperin.
Like a go nod
Yeah.
or okay.
Because he's already swimming towards it.
Okay. Yeah, I do that and I'd use my invisibility.
Excellent. Yeah, you emerge in a storeroom. The water's obviously leaking through. It's not airtight. You're in the back of the ship. It's filling up quick. You can hear screams further ahead. Sailix, where do you go?
Sailix is gonna look around, see that she's disappeared again. He's like, find the slaves, free them.
You follow into the ship as well?
Yeah, he's going to, and after he says that, because he can't see her, so he's just saying it to like empty air, and then he's going to rush out, his swords drawn.
Aldonis, I need an athletics check as you climb. The ships are much closer now. 20, 30 feet. Cannons begin to fire, with each one hitting on both sides. The ships shake. No holes punctured yet, though.
21.
You scratch at it, and you slip. You can't get a hold, not with the wind.
I guess I'll wait then.
Rune.
There was a creature coming at me.
You were looking at him. He's headed towards you, looking for something to throw. There aren't any crates nearby, though. Obviously, that's what he's searching for, but I need you to make a reflex save as this mast begins to break apart and a large piece of sail comes flying towards you. Excellent. You dodge out of the way, but now we're going to roll initiative. Aldonis,
Hmm.
you have two options. You're about 20 feet away.
Oh, great.
At least that's the gap. You can try to climb again, or with a running start, you might be able to jump over.
How about this? I look over and make eye contact with one of the creatures on the ship. One of the creatures on the ship.
Go ahead.
And I cast Fear.
Mm.
And so they have to make a will save. They need a 24.
Is it going to be this fiend that's stalking
Yeah!
Rune?
Yeah!
Will save DC 24?
Yep. Ah, bitch! All right.
Looks like you unfazed, but the skies do darken.
Okay, so
The rain becomes heavier.
so it's still frightened for 1.
Okay.
Because that's how fear works. And that's 2. And I'll just like yell for somebody to have like a boarding rope, and I'll just do a running start at the beginning of my next turn.
Excellent. Vesperin, there's nothing in here. But you can hear shouts. There's dozens of people in the bottom of this ship. People are screaming every time a cannon hits. The whole
Do they
place shakes.
sound like good guy, like innocent people, or like bad guys? Like, basically, do I hear what sounds like orders being barked back and forth, or like, oh God, save us?
From your experience, everyone sounds innocent when a ship is sinking.
Okay. All right. I will scout then to try to see what's all going on there, I guess.
Rowers
Okay.
on the outside, underneath the ship, moving along. They don't want to row any longer. A woman points a pistol at them. She's screaming at them. Many of them are scared.
Can I kill her?
Make a perception check. And you can try.
All right, perception.
Sailix, what do you do here?
Do I see that as well?
My elven eyes.
Yeah, as you come out, the door opens as if an invisible force opened it. So you assume Vesperin is investigating. But yeah, through this, you do see this woman.
Is
The
it
tricorn hat.
is it just just her?
That's all you can see. It's really low light in here. And really crowded. You can make a perception check though. Are you heading out there?
Yeah.
What do my elven eyes see?
Slaves by the dozen rowing this ship, some chained up. You're gonna make an attack.
Um, yeah. So as Salix is
Oh.
walking out of the door, like he's very like prominently making himself known as he's like walking. He's like dragging his sword on the ground, and he's like, "Now's the time to get out of the way." Saying it to the open air to like kind of let Vesprin know to move. Um, and as he like comes along the middle staircase, he's going to dart in at the woman. How long of a run is it?
She's 40 feet away from you when you first open that door.
Okay. So yeah, he's going to run along, and that'll allow me to make one attack. Here, and then. Ooh. Still hit.
It's a hit. Roll damage.
He just runs down, and like as he kind of jumps in the air, he whips himself with his blade out and drags it along her arm with the pistol to try and get it to move away from the slave she's aiming it at.
Excellent. Slaves scream, and they actually start to scramble now that they have their out. You notice you're about ankle deep in water anyway. It's extremely loud as you hear it rushing in. You can only hope that a cannon isn't going to fire a ball straight through this thing and blow your head off. Vesprin, you still have 2 actions. What do you do?
Is the woman dead?
No, she's in the corner, trying to comfort another slave, but freaking out.
Okay. I don't want to break my invisibility. Is there a way to like whisper but like not break invisibility, or just talking break it?
You could whisper.
Okay.
For
So I
invisibility.
feel like, she would basically whisper to Gubby to, there's a hole below. Get the fuck out of here as fast as you can.
Excellent. And your invisibility is preserved.
But is the woman with the gun still a threat, or not so much?
Sailix is on her.
Okay.
You would like to think she's not a threat. But you did one movement to open the door and get out, one movement to walk over, and then to whisper. So you're sort of
Cool.
out for this one. She backs up and instead points the pistol at you, Sailix. Actually, whoops, it's the wrong thing. But it misses. She fires again. A miss as well. But make a reflex save for me. A cannon blasts a hole in the side of this ship. Blood coats your face as it plows through slaves. You're unharmed. You manage to dodge out of the way. There's still an enemy before you, though. But we'll cut away from that. Rune, how high up are you from the ground?
So Rune is effectively hovering, insofar as there are arcs of electricity just sort of suspending his elemental form in the air, but he's not currently higher than he would be inside melee range if something was to come.
Excellent. You feel claws. The attack from this fiend. as he swipes at you, trying to grab anything he can. It is a critical hit. It's 47 points of damage as you feel your body test its very metal. Aldonis, you do see this. Vesperin, it's your turn. You're comforting... Actually, Aldonis' turn. What do you do? You're going to make that running start and jump?
Hell yeah.
All right, athletics check
Okay.
for speed, and then acrobatics check for the movement.
All right. Athletics. Ugh, not great. Acrobatics.
A bad leap and a good jump. You make the swing, but you don't get far enough where you can safely drop to the ground. You only get about halfway, but I need a reflex save from you. You start to move. You start to swing around as if you're headed back to the ship, and you get caught in cannon fire.
Oh,
To
great.
dodge the cannon, you can drop into the water. That reflex save is sufficient to avoid it in the middle of all this chaos.
I don't want to drop in the water, though. I really don't.
You can make an acrobatics check. It's going to be a high DC to try to jump from the rope and land on the side of the ship so that way you could crawl back up.
I'm gonna try it because I can't. I don't want to jump in the water again. That's a bad thing.
You grab a hold and you manage to pull yourself up. You avoided disaster there.
Thank goodness.
Vesperin.
How many actions did that take? Was that all 3?
If you were really bold, you can make a running start without the rope, and you might be able to get across if you feel like time's running out for Rune.
He'll be all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
Vesperin.
One hit took more than half his HP.
The question I asked you in PM, are they the same person or different people?
They are the same person.
Oh!
As far as you can tell, they are the same person.
Okay. So he is fighting her.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry. You mean the sailor and that person you're talking to? No, they are not the same. They're different people.
Okay.
But this is the same yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see what you mean.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Because I was like, I would have to do something completely different.
Nah.
Okay. Cool. I guess. I mean, does she look like she's going, or is she just like stuck?
No, she's going.
Okay, good.
Heading up the stairs, but it's hard to tell really where to go. The ship is falling apart.
Okay. I guess. Can I hear people trapped anywhere else?
You can heal Balgora.
Absolute calamity. Go ahead.
Kill them now that their back is turned. Kill them now.
Vesperin's blade.
The right time.
Humming a song of death.
Right?
Sailix, what do? You have the upper hand here.
I'm going to double slice.
Excellent. And Vesperin, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say she would probably try to do her best to scout out the other parts of the ship then, since if Sailix looks like he has it handled, to either look for more people to free or, stuff, anything on
There are
what their
cages.
objective or, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a triad slaver operation, but there are cages up front.
All right, I'm gonna unlock some cages.
All right, your invisibility will fade
Okay.
as you start to open it. You frighten even more people, but they head up, extremely uncertain, since the slavers presumably are all above, but the ship is sinking.
Yeah.
Sailix, describe this.
So as he dodged back out of the cannon shot, he his hand went to the second sword and he darted forward, and he just kind of slid in towards her, and as he jumped upwards to stand up before he kind of spins and slashes at her with both the blades as he lands in front of her. She's on fire now, though.
Wow. And with that, as she's writhing in pain, suddenly she stops moving. She's still, along with some other bodies, more innocent. You're surrounded by dozens of slaves. They don't know what to do. Rune, what do you do?
The lightning shape before the fiend. Different arcs of electricity seem to be forming patterns as Rune casts haste on himself, which is a 2-action spell. The form of lightning seems to just sort of shift, kind of glitch out as the arcs begin to speed up and move faster. He uses other action to strike at the creature.
You probably would have heard Aldonis's claws hit behind you. And you know that the whole vital beacon thing is kind of his first thing he does before battle. So you know that if you need healing, you just go touch him. Just saying.
Good to know. And the bin I had is gone.
Aldonis, you can attempt to climb up as well.
My first priority, because Rune, well, I don't know if I can tell that Rune's hurt because he doesn't look like himself.
It would be hard to tell. You can make a perception check if you'd like, but as of now, you probably don't. You don't know the extent of it.
Nah.
Did a 23 hit it?
23. This is versus AC. No, 23 would not hit.
All right. As his haste action, he will dart 80 feet upwards.
Well, shit. Do we
Perfect.
have a battle map for us?
Oh, yes. Yeah, there's a battle map.
Okay.
That's where you are.
All right. So now I can.
You can
kind of
attempt to
see.
climb up now that you have a grip.
So am I on the deck or am I just on the ropes?
You're on the side.
I'm on the side. Okay, well, I guess I'm climbing up then. So that's, you said acrobatics?
Yep.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Excellent. You make it to the top. You notice somebody you recognize.
Kind of.
No, it's Scubby
Where?
in rags coming up the stairs. It's a ladder, actually.
Shit.
Pulling yourself up. There are a dozen or so slaves around, scrambling, trying to find the best place to be. Because
Gubby
down below,
won't recognize me though.
she doesn't. She is terrified of you. But you're actually one of the least of her concern right now. There
Yeah.
are slavers about, and they're ready to cut down these slaves.
Is anybody chasing? Is there anybody attacking the slaves?
No, but it can change in a heartbeat. It's chaos.
Well, I will go ahead and just try to take care of any slaver that seems to be about that's threatening the people coming up. So I'm assuming this half-elf sailor person would be one of them.
Yeah, there's a dozen or so here, and right about now, the Crimson Ravens are just starting to land on deck.
Okay.
It's the beginning of a skirmish on land. The cannons seem to have stopped firing.
All right. Well, I'm
Just
gonna
long
shoot chilling darkness at this this one guy.
Excellent.
We'll go from there. There it is. And my eye will open, and I am gonna re-roll that with a hero point because screw that noise.
Good use of a hero point.
Yeah, that's a bit better.
That's a hit.
So my eye opens, my third eye opens, and a dark beam of energy goes and hits this person for 5d6 cold and 5d6 evil if it's not evil. Or if it's celestial. Never mind, it's not celestial. So, anyway, that's what
Excellent.
it did.
You can see it in her eyes that it connected painfully.
Yeah.
Rune. This thing stops with the claws and instead begins to sink. His shoulders, he's looking around, trying to find something to throw. How high up are you?
80 feet.
He latches onto the mast. It begins to lean. It's giving in, but he doesn't waste time. He climbs up it. It's falling apart as he does. And as he gets close enough, you know that there's distance between you. He can't reach you. But there's a look in his eyes. I need you to make a will save. You hear the sound of heavy chains turning like an infernal machine. Something trying to grab a hold of you, but it's in your mind. You feel something tightening around you. Slowly constricting, as if there's a link between you and this thing. He climbs further up. He can't reach you. Realistically, maybe he can't at all, since you could fly away quicker than he could even climb. Vesper, and you unlock the cages. Slaves run out, panicking. They nearly drown. This part of the ship is covered. I mean, your shoulder in water. What do you do?
I guess again, like, is there so first of all, like, can I breathe underwater? I'm not quite sure how seals
Oh, yeah.
work. Okay.
Fully, you can breathe underwater.
All right, cool. So the water does not bother me.
Not at all.
Okay, awesome. I guess the next thing is, like, can I tell if there's like an office or, you know, something where whoever the commander was of this would have been in charge? Like, basically, again, I want to find out if there is you know, anything about what their next move is going to be, or what
Right.
yeah.
So, with the intensity of what's going on, the fate of the rest of you and your allies lies in the next half minute, maybe.
Oh.
You hear boots on deck. There
Mhm.
is a full skirmish upstairs. Obviously, the captain would be high up there anyway.
Okay.
These slaves stand no chance against the slavers, so the fate of the battle upstairs determines what happens next. Sailix, what do you do as well?
Yeah, Sailix will start making his way to go to the upper deck. As he's making his way there, he'll just be kind of saying to the slaves that he's passing, he's like, you can either drown down here as slaves, or you can fight your way to the other ship and live to be free people. This is your only two choices. The rest is you. He'll start climbing up.
Yeah, and similarly, Vespa would, I guess, also start heading up with just, you know, all right, gods don't help them who don't help themselves.
Well, up the ladder, as you two finally arrive, weaving through the panicked crowd, Rune's doing battle with a demon as this mass begins to collapse. Rune, what do you do?
Are we even with each other? Or within melee range at all?
You are out of melee range for your own benefit, but you can move into melee range if you would like.
No. I will,
Okay.
however. Grabbing at the lightning bolt that is his staff, he throws it at the beast, casting lightning bolt to angle it so that it hits both the beast and the mast in its 120-foot line.
Excellent. Oh, that's a success.
That is. Still takes
It's a critical
I believe,
success for
half
the mast.
damage.
Takes how much?
I believe it still takes half damage.
All right, roll damage.
Goddamn. You love to see it.
All right. It's
And then he'll take 2 actions. His last action plus the haste action to head down and over next to Eldonis.
excellent. And Aldonis,
And his movement is very. It looks like just like a lightning strike as a bolt just slams down next to Eldonis, and there is the form that Rune has taken. Just floating
overhead, I
next
mean,
to
you
him.
have Crimson Ravens landing to meet these slavers. I mean, there are several of them on the deck here. One such slaver is creeping up behind Sailix as he's heading up this ladder. Aldonis, you do notice this. You notice Gubby is being targeted as well. do you do?
So I'm gonna smack Rune on the arm, even though it hurts, and heal him for 1. Oops. There. That's what I meant to do. So there, you get 20. So the sailor, half elf sailor 1 is the one that's targeting Gubby and Sailix.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to move. I can't really move toward him, but what I can do is what can I do? Can I do anything? Yeah, I'm gonna cast harm at first level at the creature. I have to move forward 5 feet to do it, but
Oh, that's fine.
so that, and then harm.
It fails to save.
Great. So that means it takes 1d8 negative. And if I needed healing, I could get some stuff back, but I don't.
Excellent. Salix, you see this. You notice somebody's creeping up on you. What do you do?
One is creeping up on me.
Yeah. It was headed for a dirty shot on you as you're heading up this ladder.
I am going to attack them.
Right. And as you make it up, you do notice this demon, the monstrous one, is also about 10 feet away from you. His gaze is set on Aldonis, however. He doesn't notice you yet.
Is he
Doesn't
on
notice anything
the
with chaos.
Is he on the floor, like on the ground, or is he in the middle? Like,
Oh, he's landed. Mostly
Alright.
fallen, but landed.
All right. So I am going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. It's gonna kind of step in between like the middle of them. I'm gonna use double slice on the fiend, and then with so I'll roll that first. That's 1. It's 2. And then I'm going to so he takes that, and then with his third attack, he'll reach back and slash at the half elf sailor that's on the other side.
Excellent. Roll that one then. It's a hit. Roll damage. Excellent. She takes the hit, but she pivots as quickly as possible and strikes you with a scimitar. 30 is a miss, but she's persistent.
Ooh,
And that was a critical miss.
you love to see it. So
Ooh. Okay.
as she swings up with her scimitar, he kind of spins out of the way low and just brings both of his blades at once across her midsection.
Immediately, she hits the ground. She makes a roll out of it. She's barely standing.
And she's deafened as a loud crack of thunder just ricochets throughout the deck.
Vesperin, what do you do?
Can I get surprise on the other sailor that hasn't attacked yet?
You can think of a way. If you make a run, you have to get out of her vision and attack from somewhere she's not expecting. Her eyes are trained on Aldonis right now, and the Crimson Raven is coming on. If you were to attack from above or from a strange angle, you could swing it.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I guess if I run up one of the little stair things or something, right? Like that would work.
You could run up the stairs and jump off of it. Yep, from the far side.
Cool.
That would be
Like here?
1 action's worth in an acrobatics check.
Here or I don't know.
You could run across it and make a leap to attack
Oh.
from above.
Okay. I don't know where you'd want me to move then to do that.
Oh, well,
Okay.
were you attacking ranged?
Yeah, with my knife.
Okay, good. Just run it from there.
Okay, cool. So you need me to do acrobatics also?
Nope.
Oh, okay, cool. Then yeah, let me
She's
throw
drawing.
my knife.
Blood, 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 blood.
Yeah. See, now it's your time to have some fun.
36 is a hit.
Ooh,
Cool.
it's a critical.
Hit. Roll damage.
All right. How do I roll
One was
damage?
going around tonight.
Right.
So sometimes
Uh,
Balgora, I'll roll the damage for you. Sometimes Balgora,
Yeah, because is it a crit?
it is crit.
Sweet. So that's a lot of different things.
It is a
There's
lot
so
of
many
different
dice.
things. It's going to be that, and
Sneak
Half.
attack.
and 10 points of persistent bleed damage.
Sweet. I'm gonna try to attack him again.
Go ahead. Her blood is just flying all over the deck.
Uh.
enough that in the calamity of the rush of people running around, it's leaving footprints.
I'm
There are
guessing
tracks
that does not hit.
all about the floor. It does not hit.
Alas. And I think that's it, right?
She scrambles and draws a weapon. She's going to charge at you. And despite the disadvantage, she swings her scimitar. A forceful
Yes.
sweep up. It misses.
Yes.
Tries again, and it misses as well. You're too fast.
Yes. She slips on her own blood.
The demon turns to
Uh-oh.
Sailix.
Okay.
Swing of claw. Misses. Yet another claw. The right hand swoops in for a critical miss.
Oh, let me get this real quick. And
Graceful parry. And then attack of the jaws. Okay. Is it once per turn, or you just got him?
I have to check real quick. Hold on.
Can he have bit his tongue instead of biting Sailix? Because that would be awesome.
Oh my god.
It's a critical miss, okay?
Rune, you're next.
It doesn't say anything about once per turn, but if you want to make the call once per turn, that's fine with me.
Let's do once per turn because that's in first edition for now.
Okay. Because that hit would have been a critical.
Rune, what do you do?
All right. I'm gonna roll a couple of attacks, and then depending on how those go, we'll do a description. In short, though, there's attacks going to the fiend.
$29 is a miss. $36 is a hit.
So basically, what happens is there's a weird echo effect as the form dashes towards the fiend, as lightning and electricity just sort of wrap around it, striking at it. It dodges the first hit, but a second comes towards its ribs, cutting into it before pulling back to where it was, before Rune pulls back to where he was when he started.
Excellent. You can roll damage for that. Have any other actions?
No, that would be it.
All right. Aldonis, what would you like to do?
Okay, let's take a look at this real quick. All right, so who's been looking at me? This
The
one
demon
that's
was
almost dead.
before Salix took him on. It looks like you're in the clear for now.
Okay.
There's a general skirmish going on, though. I mean, there are several soldiers.
All right. Well, the demon's closest, and I'm hungry, so we're gonna attack him. Let me make sure I only have him. Oop, nope. There we go. And I'm gonna jump on him, and I'm gonna do the coolest thing that I have in my arsenal, because Gubby's here and there's a look of recognition on her face. And I'm going to do Blood Feast.
Excellent. Is that a melee attack?
So Blood Feast is a touch attack. and it doesn't tell me how to do it, so I'll have to look it up again. Because this is one of the ones that we got from the app, but wasn't in the thing. So 2 seconds. I should have been prepared.
Sailix. How much do you think you know about demons? Do you realize with each hit that you made, the wounds seem to slowly seal themselves back up?
Okay, I think I just do a spell attack. A touch spell attack.
That's fine. Just roll it.
Okay. So it would be plus... I don't know what it would be plus anything. But it's 18... what's my proficiency bonus? I don't know anything. I'm sorry.
His DC is 30. I'm sure it lands at level 10.
Okay. So then if it lands, then the creature takes 12d6 piercing damage. As my head splits open from my eye, splits in half, and these teeth form in a maw, and I just chomp down on, I'm guessing, his neck or some other vital organ. So 12d6. Let's see here.
Damn.
12d6.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12d6. What type
That's
of
what-
damage is that?
It's piercing damage. Is that right? Yeah, great. Thank you.
It looks about right.
Yeah.
And the blood is pouring in. But he has a lot of blood to give. He looks furious at you.
And then if the target takes... Oh, wait. After the spell, my head sews itself back together as if it had never split, and I gain temporary hit points for 1 minute equal to half of the piercing damage that the target took. So I have...
That would be 20 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
For a minute. Well done.
Nom nom. Fiendies. Breakfast of champions.
Sailix.
So your question
And
earlier,
this is the most monstrous thing any of you have seen of Adonis. Okay, I'm done.
Sailix doesn't know much about demons, but he knows that when you're chosen by a deity, it can't hurt to ask for a favor. So holding, like, kind of pointing beyond him, like beyond the demon, he kind of, like, calls to the sky. He's like, "Goes Ray. Let's put on a show for Reika." And in a spin, he does double slice again. But I'll see how well I do before I...
Yeah, I want that attack, but I also want you to make a reflex save when you do that.
All right.
As you call to the sky.
All right. So I missed the second one, but... And then let me do damage real quick. And then a reflex save.
Yeah. Oof.
If that's not enough, I'll
Sailix.
hero point that shit.
Use your hero point.
All right.
Sailix, the wind is knocked out of you. The rest of you see a bolt of lightning strike Sailix. It doesn't empower him. It throws him through the grate into the deck below. Sailix, as you hit the water, your head hits a piece of metal, actually a fragment from what you used to breach the hole. Your ears are ringing and your head is spinning, and you hear creeping behind your ear, "No."
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Do you have any actions left?
Yeah, he
You
has
see the
one.
violence in the sky above, but the water keeps hitting you in the eye.
He has
Bitch,
one.
just got your hand slapped.
I know, right? No, bad.
You might be able to leap back up.
Yeah, no, he'll definitely go ahead and jump back on deck.
Shrug it off. With the wings in the water. Landing with a squeak. Well, everybody's still here. This time the sailor is prepared for your return. As you land immediately, you're being swept with sword swipes. First one misses. She backs away.
Do I get an attack of opportunity because she backed away?
It was a step.
Okay.
She looks terrified of you and hesitant. She drops her sword absentmindedly, pulls a short bow from behind her back, and heads up to the stairs. Vesper, you're being struck again. First, a swing at your feet, then she comes around, trying to gain the upper hand by moving up. 32 is a hit. Take 9 points of damage.
Don't I take half though if it's an attack that I can see because I'm a rogue and I'm a dick?
Oh, yeah. You get 4 points back. Balgora
Haha.
out there looking out for you. Aldonis, the fiend grabs you.
Grabs me by my mouth that's currently chewing on him.
A swipe with the claws, reaching for your back as if trying to pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
36
Yeah.
is a hit
Yeah.
for 15 points of damage.
Oh no! Oh help! This hurts so bad.
You're thrown to the ground, not with any serious force.
It's all right.
The fiend says, "Soon." And suddenly a portal opens, and it forcefully opens itself by the mast, and it cracks the wood as the thing starts to topple. He disappears.
Oh wait,
Do it.
before he does that, because he hit me and supposedly did damage, would that trigger a reaction of blood vendetta for me?
Is that the trigger?
Yeah, that I get hit.
Yeah.
That a
you were hit,
creature
no
deal.
damage.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And it was slashing damage. Great. So I'm gonna look at him and say, soon. Here's a parting gift, and he has to make a will save.
Let's do.
No, he fails.
What's the effect?
So he takes the target takes full persistent bleed damage until the bleeding stops. The target has a weakness of 1 to piercing damage and takes the persistent bleed is 2d6 persistent bleed. So yeah, that happened.
He groans.
So where's my thing? There's the blood vendetta. And he rolled it. So do I roll the 2d6?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how to get to roll 2. There we go. So 10 bleed damage
Excellent.
before he goes. Bye-bye
Yeah, he
now.
howls as the portal swallows him. The sound dampens. Vesperin, Valgora's whispering to you. Two of these thugs, they're headed straight towards you.
I want to kill him! So I guess, does it matter if I roll on half elf 1 or 2?
Nope.
Okay.
Whoever Balgora would like to eat right now.
Oops. How does that work? Why would it let me roll on the dudes in the combat tracker?
You can roll it into the map. Just roll it onto the whatever target
Okay.
you want.
All right.
Yep.
Oops. That work? So I get a yes, right?
Yes, and that is a hit.
Okay. So regular damage.
Oh, and the bleeding, by the way, is persistent. This damage. Let me roll a secret save real quick. The damage continues. The wound that you had dug just previously begins to rip open even further, black and dark red blood pouring out. She falls to her hands and knees as she was headed up these stairs to fight you. The saber dropping out of her hand just slowly bounces off the steps as it slowly moves down. She's at your mercy. You could probably kill her if you'd like.
Let's see. The other one's coming up too, right?
Yeah, but she's not looking at you. She's fleeing Sailix.
Okay.
I wonder what Balgora wants.
I'm gonna try to kill, because I have 3 actions. So I'm gonna try to use my second one to attack the one that attacks Sailix.
Throw it.
Does 29 hit?
Doesn't.
Damn it.
You have an action.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill the one in front of me then.
Excellent.
Just like that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
vicious. The rain helps deliver the blood
Yeah.
to the deck here. Rune.
And
Demons
unlike
disappeared.
some people, she doesn't kill with fanfare and bullshit. She's just like, whatever.
Calling out the whole Unforgotten right now.
Yeah.
Rune.
Vesperin clearly has that taken care of.
You do notice Gubby's here.
I'm not overly concerned about Gubby. Opening the door, though.
It's empty. Captain's quarters.
You sure you don't want
Pretty
to
nice.
wait for your
Nothing like
handy-
Crassius's, though. As you inspect, make a reflex save for me.
That seems on par.
That's why we let the rogue go first, to like look for traps.
The rogue was busy murdering.
Excellent, but make another. 2 in rapid succession, please. Ooh.
That sounds like a
A
hero
claw emerges from below to grab at your leg. You dodge to the side, and a second one. You could use a hero point if you'd like.
point. Yeah, I feel the need to use a hero point on that one.
Ripping a hole in the floor to try to reach you. He's attempting to pull you down. The second one doesn't work as well, but then he just starts to rip open to below. You see it's all water now. This thing is halfway sunken, and it's only now registering to you as the wind gets even heavier and heavier. You still have 2 actions. What do you do?
Strike at it. So an arc of lightning just touches into the water in order to enact just a electrifying effect as part of his strikes.
Excellent. He is far below you, but here's visibility. You can attack him if you'd like. Sailix, you see this. The door is open. It's the perfect line of sight. You see Rune.
Ooh.
That is a melee strike.
Yeah.
This demon has a reaction. And he'll spring up to attack you with his horn. .38, be it a hit. You're pierced right at the thigh. It's dampened, but it hurts like a bitch. Do you have any other actions?
No. There's
Alright.
a loud thunder crack as Rune sort of cries in pain.
The ship is beginning to slant a little bit as it's sinking. Nature's about ready to swallow it whole. The mast has fallen. Some slaves have slipped into the water. It's absolute calamity. Gubby's hanging onto a grate, though. She's with a young slave, a child. Aldonis, what do you do?
Things are hard.
Save.
I will go over to Gubby. I will let me play my character, man. And I'll be like, you need to go. You need to go now
Where?
to the other ship.
It's about 20 feet away.
There's
15 at best.
There's ropes. Take a rope. Swing over.
Okay. What
I'll
else do
see you
do?
there. And then wherever I heard the cry of pain from Rune, I will go to there, I guess.
What's your movement speed?
Movement speed is 40.
One movement is enough to get caught up.
Oh, great. And
He's grappling a demon, holding on desperately, trying not to be swept in the undercurrent.
Do I have enough action to do one more hit on him of the
Yes.
vital beacon? Okay, so targeting you, and there you go. And that's all I can really do for right now.
Excellent. Sailix. Crimson Ravens have secured the upper deck here for the most part. What do you do?
So Aldonis is kind of blocking the door right now to get into the ship, into the captain's quarters.
Yeah, covering line of sight there.
Shit. And I can't see into the room otherwise. Fuck. All right. Well, Sailix is going to calmly, like eerily calmly, walk over to the one that was firing the short bow at him, and his body's kind of putting off that steam from being hit by a lightning bolt. He just kind of grabs him by the throat with his flaming hand and pulls him close to his face and just grips tighter, letting the scorching roll up the sides of their face, pretty much burning them on contact. As he's just kind of staring into their eyes, and as he plunges his sword directly into their chest upwards, trying to make it pierce out of the other side. So what kind of roll would that be?
That's going to be a melee strike.
All right.
They look at you in total astonishment. But even doubt that things could get so bad so quickly. I mean, the ship is about ready to topple. It is a critical hit. I mean, they're ignited. And you watch the life leave their body.
He just kind of drops the charred husk onto the deck.
Vesperin, you see this. You both, Vesperin and Sailix, almost about the same time, you've made your kills here in your own way. Vesperin, you hear a voice, though. Sailix, the voice again. No. In your ear, suddenly, a gust of wind. Make a save for me. A reflex save. You need to grab onto something as the ship begins to tip.
Do I do too, or no?
Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah.
Oh,
As
okay.
the ship does begin to tip that way.
Ah! Hero point!
You may hero point it.
Oh, God.
Much better. You manage to grab a hold. Sailix, you do slip, but you catch yourself on the mast that is still standing. This thing is certainly starting to tip, and you can see off in the distance, beyond the Scourge of Belial, Crassius' ship, a wave is forming. Somebody's angry. Rune, are you within melee range of this thing? This fiend?
Unfortunately.
You hear the chains tightening. He says, your soul is mine. And he's going to try to dig claws into you even further. His jaw opens for a bite. 38 will hit for 27 damage, and his jaws are going to latch onto your abdomen. It is a miss. Make a reflex save as he attempts to pull you under. He notices he starts to slip as the current underneath the broken bottom of the ship, it pulls him, and he wants to take you with him.
Just confirm that's me.
Say again?
That would be safe for me.
Yeah, a reflex save. You make it. Just barely. He scrapes down your leg as he gets sucked into the fast-flowing water underneath. I'm sure that's damage you're happy to take. What do you do now?
There's a rumble of thunder as the name of Corvus can be heard deep as the shape of a raven, just as electrifying as Rune's form, flies down across the ship. The familiar arcane symbols along its chest and wings can be felt. It dives into the water, recasting elemental form as the arcs of electricity that Rune had cut into the water begin to shift and change as he changes into the form of a water creature, as he dives in, chasing after the
Didn't see
fiend
that coming.
at 60 feet of swim.
Well, you managed to. He's already been sucked out. The pull from one of the holes, it pushes him through, and he breaks a hole open. You can follow him as fast as you'd like, but by the time you catch up, he's already going to be outside of this ship, just ahead and to the side. You can pursue him if you'd like.
Yes.
Excellent. We'll get back to that. Vesperin. It seems it's a battle you've won, but this ship is a martyr to it. It's about to collapse. What do you do?
Okay, so I guess first of all, is the other sailor dead that was messing with Sailix?
No, she's hanging on. Oh no, no, sorry, but there is another sailor that is hanging on to the edge as
Okay.
it's turning over. Salix is actually, the mast is becoming nearly horizontal as this thing is tipping over. So you don't have a lot of time.
Okay. But does he look well enough to be able to fly and take care of himself?
Yeah, I mean, Salix looks fine.
Okay. And I'm guessing we don't really see Rune and the Fiend and all that crazy shit from where we were, right?
He could be dead, you have no idea.
Okay. Then I guess I'm gonna try to see if I can grab anything from the captain's quarters before everything goes to hell, because I can breathe underwater.
Yeah, as you jump down, you actually slide and catch yourself on the doorway. It's about a 45-degree angle. But that brings us to Aldonis. What are you doing right now as this thing is beginning to tip?
Well, I just saw Rune dive through a giant hole in the ship.
Yep.
But I know he's healed. So there's that. Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and try to help people get off the ship, I guess.
Well, it's a mess. Your sea legs aren't enough here. This thing is starting to tip. People are falling into the water. And you do notice from the direction that the ship is tipping, there's a wave coming.
Oh, shit.
And it's quite large. You can help people, but realistically, there's not enough time.
All right, time to start praying.
Salix, what are you doing?
Salix takes off the mast, flying. He sees the giant wave, and he just immediately is darting towards it, like flying full speed, like screaming at the top of his lungs in Celestial. Something about how if Gozray has a problem, he needs to settle it with him and not take out everybody in one.
Make an athletics check for me. Huh. It's quite an interesting taunt.
I am going to hero point that, by the way. It's my last one.
Rune, you catch up to this thing underwater. It doesn't see you. It's tossing and turning under the current. You've managed to pass all the way through the ship. What do you do?
Being melded with water, he just sort of begins to pull the water into a ball and just pummels into the creature. How many actions?
You've got 3 actions.
Plus the haste? All right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you get full actions. It's a miss. Aldonis, you notice Gubby has made it across to the ship. There are several slaves, but far more are actually in the water or trying to hang on to the ship that's toppling over. They see this wave. It's massive. It's getting closer and closer. Lightning seems to strike near Sailix, but he gracefully...
Is there anyone on the brink
yeah.
of dying on deck?
Many.
Great. I go up to one of them. and I'm gonna chomp down on them, and with an intention, say to Lamish too. I don't know how this works, but if this sacrifice will help, please help us not die. Okay? Thanks.
A sacrifice.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill one of the nearly dead people and sacrifice.
Not a slave, right?
Not a slave. No.
Okay.
No,
Just
no,
checking.
no. My mother would never forgive me if I did
Ooh.
that.
Rune
Do
had
you
a
have any-
terrible attacks.
Well, he notices you. And he begins to approach you, trying to figure a way to wrangle your form. You do notice, you feel a pull. Before a wave, you get that sudden, that feeling of weightlessness, like you're being pulled up. It's magnified in this form. You feel a great wave coming. He seems unaware of it. And above, you can see Sailix flying towards it. Sailix, what do you do?
He is praying, but not to either Gozray or Regathiel. He's praying to Reika, because he's not sure what he did to piss him off, but he needs her to save his ass just one more time. As he's like, I'll sacrifice it all if I have to. As he's flying towards the wave.
Your feet from the wave. What do you do? Are you going to fly directly towards it?
Yeah, no, he's flying like towards it, like.
It moves. Initially, you think it moves to avoid you and to shift away. But what it does is it moves around as if it's forming a bubble. And as it encases you, as the wave passes over, it suddenly collapses on you. Make a fortitude save for me. Rune, this demon pulls you closer. You hear that chain. Muffled underneath the water, you hear, "Your soul is mine." You're grabbed from the claws yet again. A critical hit this time. 41 points of damage, but now suddenly the wave is lifted. You see Sailix in this wave. Aldonis and Vesperin, you have seconds to react. And what do you do in this moment? As the ship that was tipping to the left is now about ready to flip on an entirely different axis.
So I guess can we see the demon?
Under the
Like-
water, no.
Okay. Like, do we see like any of what just happened there?
You don't.
Okay.
You see people screaming in the water, and some bodies floating. Sailix has been swallowed by the tsunami, however.
Are
I
there
guess-
You've got about one action before these things start to move really quickly.
Okay, I guess I would dive into the water and try to save Sailix.
Excellent. That's a great move. You jump horizontally to reach the water because the water is directly in front of you.
Yay!
And that's good for you. You manage to grab Sailix, who is unconscious. Aldonis, what do you do?
I have no fucking clue. I don't like the ocean. This is awful. I guess I'm gonna try to do the same thing that Vesperin's doing, because
Jump into the water?
Yeah, just jump into the water. I'm not really trying to save Sailix because I don't think I can save myself, but we'll give it a shot.
If it looks like Eldonis needs help, Vesperin would help Eldonis too.
Dog paddle.
And suddenly, the boat, both of them, are flipped. The Scourge of Belial keeps its form, but this other ship, the slaver ship, falls apart entirely. There are so many bodies in the water, you can't tell who's alive and who's unconscious, and your ears pop from the incredible pressure of just in a tremendous amount of water above your head, and you're moving so fast back towards the coast. Sailix, you're unconscious. Vesperin, you might be able to move. Eldonis, you're about helpless to this current. And Rune, you can move. You're pretty aware in this form. And you notice something. You're being led. You didn't get very far from town when this happened. And suddenly the water is pulling you toward the cove where this slaver ship emerged. A cave opening.
Where's the beast?
He's behind you. You're both traveling towards this thing against your will as the water moves so quickly. And it is with the debris and the bubbles that it's hard to see anything, but you know he's nearby.
Is Rune still able to travel with this current, so to speak, and get to the creature to make an attack?
You'd be moving against the current, but you can fight it.
Because I realized I had been doing the modifiers of elemental form completely wrong. So they're a bit higher, just so you know.
Sounds good.
How many, understanding that I'm fighting against the current that's pulling me, how many actions do I have?
You have regular actions.
Okay. All right.
For this. It's a hit. Roll damage. As the chains pull towards you. He gets closer and closer. That is a hit. Roll damage.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly you hear as if something was thrown in to this machine. It stops with a loud click. This machine isn't real. It's all in your mind, but suddenly you feel the release of that constriction. This thing doesn't have your soul anymore. Not its eyes on you, at least. He's not moving.
So Rune just pushed against the pull of this current, just bringing pummeling waves of water against the body of this creature. As it finally succumbs to the damage, he holds on to it, bringing it with him. And for no one else to hear, your soul is mine.
Oh, that's perfect. So, looking back to the land, you see a cove. This must have been where they kept their ship, hiding from Cypress Point. And you don't have a lot of time to think because you're going to make impact in just a few seconds, but you realize you're being led directly to this cave opening, small as it is. I mean, this can't be a coincidence, but you see it. You see the outline off in the distance of a gate. Nobody else can see this. You see your friends, their bodies rolling along involuntarily towards this thing. This is the dream gate.
No. Does he have the ability to acquire his allies?
How do you mean?
It's really just to consolidate them into one place so that they're not all rolling along, but help control their their speed.
Likely,
and
if you took
Right.
Aldonis and headed towards Vesperin, you're about all together.
yeah.
Going to take great effort, and you'll have to push. I need an athletics check for that.
Oh, yeah. This new form grants me a +20.
Oh, I would say a 43 is a success.
You say?
Well done.
I think.
So the moment that Rune touches Aldonis, he gets my last heal from Vital Beacon. So there you go.
Rune.
If Rune is able to handle hurting Sailix, then Vespa would try to save literally any other people. But
It's
I don't know if that's doable.
You might wish it were, but there just isn't enough time. I mean, as you
Gotcha.
try, even you realize that there are only seconds for
Okay.
this impact.
Okay.
And without understanding the context of Dreamgate, you think you're about to die as this tsunami crashes your head against the cave. But that's not what happens. Rune, you know it can't be like that. And as you approach Dreamgate, this water has funneled you so perfectly and so divinely towards this gate. You feel your mind open up as you approach, and everything goes black. After what feels like an eternity, you wake up in a familiar place. All of you, actually. A dark room with black fog ahead of you. Marble columns support this strange, otherworldly dimension. You notice a noble estate in front of you. You haven't been here in a while, and you recognize that now. That noble estate is Vashnar Still Manor. In a way, it always has been. Just maybe remodeled once or twice since then. But instead, it's a bit different here. Looking out, in addition to the marble columns extending infinitely, there's a hedge maze. You're not alone. A few people have made it to this dream gate, standing up, a couple of the Crimson Ravens, a slaver or two, and off on the far side, so there's an opening. This manor sits at a circular opening to an infinite hedge maze, as far as you can tell. It's eerily well lit below your faces, as if the light were coming up from the ground, but above, it's dark. You can hear things swirling up above, but you can't see them. The Crimson Ravens, they scramble in fear towards the hedge maze, away from the manor. Aldonis, you notice Gubby far across on the other side.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check on her.
She's hundreds of feet away, and she's already fled into the hedge maze.
Well, shit. Are we in your head again, Rune, or is this something different?
As you look at Rune, I think you're all coming to right about now. You feel surreal, like what's just happened. Everything up until now felt like maybe that was a dream and this is reality. Except something's wrong with Rune, so this can't be reality. Rune is missing both of his eyes.
My character's never been here before, right?
No.
Okay. So I feel
so you can freak out.
Yeah, so I guess first of all, she would check on Sailix to see if he's breathing. Because dude inhaled a lot of water.
Sailix is awake now, right?
Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
Make a perception check for me. Because you realize you can't see anything.
So Rune is clearly no longer in his elemental form, I presume.
No.
Yeah.
Human form.
What happened to your eye?
Where the fuck are we?
We don't
Well-
need to see here. It won't do us any good.
Salix, make a perception. check
Where's
as well.
here?
So
This is the dream gate.
I guess you guys would notice since we're Salix's hands are all black, and he's got like a steady shadow wisp coming off of him, as it looks like he's vibrating at 2 different frequencies.
There's a lot of weird going on here, and
That's
One thing
a
at a
lot,
time.
Ian.
Salix. Actually, anybody paying attention to Salix right about now will notice that strange humming, that drip of black from his hands. It begins to pool at his feet and move away from him, sinking into the tiled, checkered marble floor that makes the ground in this area. It vanishes, and with it, the strong shadow that he cast is gone. He casts no shadow.
wait a minute.
Right.
I feel like Vesperin would like look at Rune and then look at Salix and then back at Rune and just be like, so it looks like you boys got some explaining to do.
One thing at a time.
Rune, was that what I think it was?
Depends on what you thought it was.
I thought it was that thing that used to live in your head and
No,
that got out in the dream gate.
no,
It was a
that'd be
thing that
completely
lived in
different
his head.
Long story.
Very
You
long
hear
story.
very faint screams deeper into the hedge maze. They're vague, though. You can't tell if they're real or just an illusion.
All right.
Can we
Everyone
just
just
go
calm
back
down.
out?
No, that's not going to work here. This is the realm of Desna, elven god of dreams.
Salix is
Alright.
spacing out real hardcore right now, by the way. Like he
No.
can't.
Salix,
It's like
are
he
you
can't
with
seem to
us?
focus. He doesn't
Are you
answer.
here, mate? Rune will slap him.
Nice.
Yeah.
That
Oi!
appearance, that strange image of Salix is gone. You don't see this facade anymore. You don't see this strange man underneath in the shadow. He doesn't cast a shadow at all.
Ah,
His eyelashes don't cast a shadow on his face. The whole thing is eerie, but he's more how you
Or-
remember him. However,
Arcana or occult check?
occult.
All right. I have assurance occultism, which I believe will grant me a base 27 check. Yeah.
Somehow he's lost his shadow magic. Whatever it was, it's gone. Something claimed it, or maybe deemed him not worthy, or maybe it doesn't work in here. Realm of Dreams is interesting, though. It follows very strange rules.
Aldonis is sufficiently freaked out and is going to do the beacon of vital beacon again since I used all my stuff previously.
You hear?
Right.
Vesper, you all right? Are you good?
No, but I'm
Physically.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Adonis, you good?
No, nope, not good, not good. Nope.
Salix
Don't
starts
go for the hedge maze.
speaking to the ether, and he's like, "Where are you?"
Are you looking for Kellen?
You hear a loud creak. Slowly, the double doors to Vashnar Manor open. Rune, you've spent so much time in this place,
That's
and
not
yet it looks
bloody ominous.
strangely different every time you see it.
All right. Here's the gig. There is something stuck here. Something very dangerous and very powerful. It will fuck with your head. And if you're not careful, it will win. If you feel anything, let me know.
Anything like what?
Yeah, anything.
Great.
Can you like perceive? Cause you got no eyes right now.
Yeah.
And
You don't need
that's
eyes
freaky.
here. You're just fine.
Okay.
But hang on. His fiance like lives here, right? Like, I mean, so that's a good thing, isn't it?
Kellen has passed through here.
Oh.
I don't know if they're here now.
Sailix is making his way for the manor, by the way.
Yeah, catching up quick.
And I take it you'd all follow.
Yeah. But best friend's
Hell-
just like giving a rant about why marriage is stupid. Since your fiance can't get you out of jail.
Aldonis is following, but like he keeps glancing over at the hedge maze, and like appears very torn, but is gonna go with his people.
Sailix will whip his head around and look at Aldonis, and he's like, "You are
What?
not to leave Rune's side. Lamashtu is a mortal enemy of Desna, and she will consume you whole without a second thought. Don't make a mistake."
That, my friend, is an accurate statement. This is not a safe place for you.
You
Great.
see on the steps as you head up, written in blood, capital letters, it says, drowned. DROWNED. And the doors swing open. You see the hallway. It's like a kaleidoscope at angles, and as it lines up, it disappears into infinity. But there are some defining features. You see some repetition. You know there are rooms in here. At least he understands that.
So we're seeing some weird things. Does this qualify for weird for you, Mr. Wizard?
No, I've been here before. But, just so you know, this place will change in the blink of an eye. So be
Lovely.
careful where you go.
As he mentions that the hallway bends at a strange angle, so what's infinite disappears. There's a door to your left, though. You know that room, the parlor.
It's visible. He's gonna check to see if it can be opened.
Oh, the door opens, no problem.
Take a peek inside.
In an armchair on the far side, you see Kellen.
Is it Kellen?
He's staring. I mean, you can make a check. It looks exactly like him.
What kind of check you like?
Perception's a good start. We'll save to disbelieve, if it's an illusion.
Sounds good.
Do I see him?
Oh, you see him.
I'm gonna make a will save to see if I just run over Rune to get to him. Do you think that's enough?
I don't think it's enough for
Yeah,
Sailix.
no. So Sailix
Just
will push past Rune with probably a abundant of force and begin to move towards Kellen. Cautiously this time, because last time he tried this, he got pushed back.
When he sees you, he smiles. What's your reaction? He stands up. But I
Does
take it he
Rune
doesn't
still
have
see
much
him?
time.
Is it
react.
him?
It's him. It's him as much as anything here.
Fair.
As much as you're Rune, and as much as Sailix is an asshole. So what do you do as he stands up?
Sailix, I guess, will kind of fall to his knees and grasp at his hand, and just hang his head. Like it's been so much.
Kellen's eyes are red. He pulls a lock of hair behind his ear. It wasn't supposed to be like this. You weren't supposed to be here. This
What?
isn't safe. I'm so happy to see you, Sailix, but you don't understand yet.
What do
You're
you
here. We've already lost.
What do you mean? Tell me what you mean.
You hear the sound as if something large was flying overhead, but not flying so much as swimming and writhing through the open space, perhaps between the pillars. Something outside the manor.
Shit.
You. And he gets closer when he notices this about you, that the strange light on your face, the lack of shadow. It's creepy, to be sure, but he has a different curiosity about it. He stares. No. I'm not ready for this, love. I can't. And he vanishes. He's gone.
God damn it.
Last thing you saw was the tear rolling down his cheek. And you're alone in this parlor, Sailix. What do you do?
Sailix lets out the most inhumane roar that he can manage, trying to will back that shadow that had left him earlier, because he needs something to stoke his rage at this point. He needs to feel vindicated for the reason he feels like this. His eyes are just leaking fluid as he is screaming and smashing the hell out of this parlor. Anything in his way.
Perfect.
He's throwing.
There are chairs and there are windows to receive them. You may.
He
How-
is-
Aldonis will like nudge Rune out of the way of flying debris.
I feel like similarly, like Vesper's just standing there, like doing the roguish thing of like, but like utterly
dodging
like,
nimbly.
yeah, but just like just totally lost as to what the fuck is going on.
Just purely for effect, Rune just puts his staff up as it begins spinning like a shield and just deflecting any debris that heads his way.
Yeah.
Since it's a staff of abjuration and all. But all right, so here's the problem. There was a creature known as an aboleth that made its way here to the gate. These gates, they're a bit of a way station between points. We are in the way station. The aboleth is here. It is very likely the aboleth is what created this. So, somewhere, and if you heard that thing sort of swimming about, I'm pretty sure that's it. Somewhere around here is an aboleth that wants to do nothing but murder. And it is causing Kellen to be afraid. It has likely taken over this way station more than he had anticipated. So, my guess is we have a chance to find the aboleth and murder it forever. If you lot are up for the challenge.
I got a couple of questions.
I'm sure you have more than a couple, but hit me.
Okay, so this is the realm of Desna, yeah?
It is, yeah. We'll call it a.
So hang on.
incident.
Yeah. So and that guy was just here. He serves her, yeah?
Yeah.
So if anyone was gonna be the most well equipped to handle this thing, like the most supercharged to just slay the smack on, yeah? It would be that guy who's running the fuck away. So what do we have that he don't got? Like that's just what I wanna know. Cause otherwise we're
Nash.
just lining up to die, yeah?
We've got panache.
we have me. I'm the weirdest
Listen.
of all of us right now, so.
Yeah, but like, the goddess who rules this realm is actively like, you, fuck you. I
Well,
want to
not me
fight you.
specifically, but yeah. But like,
Yeah,
I can
well,
do
like-
other things.
So
I can do other things that don't involve that.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna be fighting some big crazy thing
Vesper,
that's
Vesper.
taking this over.
Vesper,
Hmm.
this is a pocket, a copy of sorts of, or piece of Desna's place. Desna doesn't reside here, and there's a very good chance Desna really doesn't keep a watch over this particular space. And to ensure that the aboleth doesn't get to Desna's actual realm, it's probably ensured that this place is cut off from most anything else.
Hmm.
Now, Kellen, I believe, got wrapped up into this because Kellen was the anchor point.
Taylor,
So
make a will
Kellen
save.
is likely doing the best that Kellen can to keep the aboleth at bay.
Okay.
Every time you said that, every time you mention Kellen's name, Sailix stops for just a second, and he'd resume. You'd say it again, and he'd stop. Last thing he does is he topples over a bookshelf, and breaking reality, the bookshelf replenishes the books as they fall through, just creating a small pyramid of a stack of books between you and Salix. But as he looks at you, he looks furious. What do you do, Salix?
Kellen is trapped in here with his life force whittling away to nothing because Rune meddles in things he doesn't understand. Kellen is here because of the wizard. Kellen is a story of warning for someone's hubris.
In the dining hall, would you join me before anybody dies? Thank you. You hear a new voice.
Does it sound in any way familiar?
Not at all.
All I'm saying is have
As
a strategy.
So Rune looks at Salix and the rest of compatriots. There's truth to what you say, Salix. I won't deny that at all. I am here to right the wrong. I'm here to save Kellen.
As Salix kind of pushed past you, he's like, I'm here to save him too. Or walk out with your head on a fucking stick.
Let's
Fair deal. As Rune turns around, seemingly out of nowhere, a short, stout old man just sort of appears next to him, having a bit of feathers sort of in his wild white hair. His eyes are an ice blue, and along his face are very familiar arcane symbols that you would have seen on a raven. And just this little man looks up at everyone. Hello, hello everyone. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, hey, it's a smelly bird.
Not a bird at the moment, but better than being a smelly dog.
And Aldonis shapeshifts into his human form.
So, first
And
bird
next
was-
to Corvus is a lithe tiefling woman with purple skin, just a roguish sort of air about her.
I feel like this is one of those things where like Vesper just doesn't even bother to question it, and she just looks between like Salix and Rune again, and just like
How's Valgora right
she's fucking done. She just like has her hand on Valgora and looks at both of them and is like, all right, so listen, you guys can measure swords when we get the fuck out of here. But right now, both of yous, we're gonna need you. So can you keep your shit together so we can get out?
My shit's just fine, thank you. Let's go answer and see what our
She
our
like
host would
looks
like to talk
flatly
about.
at Sailix.
So it's like, I never had my shit together to begin with.
You can just pack it up in a fucking bag and carry it, okay?
So he tosses the platter of pastries by the door on the floor, and he's like, no.
We will
She
head to
just-
the dining room.
She just kick it, like mad.
Up and down just about 20 feet. The door to the dining room would swing out, but this time it hinges up to the ceiling and lays beside a chandelier. Notice the tiles, they shift. Some get replaced with wooden planks, but everything still seems somewhat solid. Do you all enter this dining room?
Yeah.
Yep.
I would also like to do like perception to spot anything hidden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check. Ahead of entering here.
Everything's fine.
This person at the head of the table looks a lot like Sailix. Dark hair,
Ah, shit.
wings like his, but a muddy brown. I'm a pathetic color compared to Sailix's vibrant white. His hair is uncut, and it runs along his face. Other than that, he's gorgeous. Oh, and he stands up and moves to the side of head of table. Sailix, this is for you. Today's about you. It's a long time coming. You gonna sit?
He'll walk over and just kind of flop into the chair.
Is everyone finding everything okay? And he looks to Rune. How are things, Menoth?
You're asking the wrong bloke.
I don't think I am. You can sit if you'd like. This is a bit silly. It's not about food. This is about Sailix and his story.
Yeah. Let's hear her story.
Sailix looks away like he does not want to talk about this right now. He's like,
Once upon a time, a world of dreams became a world of nightmares. Aldonis, do you know something about nightmares? Right. Not yet, huh? Maybe Lamash
I'm gonna answer that, so I'm just gonna all respect. You said this is about Sailix, so I'm just gonna sit here and listen. And okay.
I'm not good at telling stories. Why don't we go? He's gonna open the window, and in lieu of the glass, it's an opening. It's breezy. You smell warm air. You hear the trickle of a river nearby, a small village. Come with me. Let's talk about things and how we got here. And he's going to hoist his legs over and slip in. He's the same height as Sailix, built muscularly. His wings pull in the same way as he's trying to emulate the humanoid lifestyle. Do you guys follow him?
I feel like Vesperin would lean over, whisper to Sailix like, "Oi, you have a brother."
Rune
So-
follows.
Sailix would look up to him like, yeah.
Aldonis is not leaving Rune's side, per angry angel dad.
And he kind of walks out through the window, similarly
Yep.
The village is peaceful. You recognize. Rune, make a perception check as you come into this place. This is like a small paradise. Kids are playing. Elves. You see, almost exclusively elves. You don't see anybody else. Well-built buildings just on either side of a river as it winds along. It's beautiful, but you still get that strange sensation. This winged man turns to Sailix. Now, do you recognize that building? It's a two-story building. Roof looks like it's made of straw. A young couple. They're sitting on top, eating cheeses, chatting about something. Tell me, Sailix, what do you know about this place?
Would he recognize this place?
You can make a perception check to try to remember. It's hard to
It's
gather
been a
your
few
thought.
hundred years.
You know it from your childhood. Long, long, long ago.
Is that his house that he's pointing to?
Now look. You see them? Lovely couple. You notice a woman, an elf with platinum white hair, and a blonde man. They're young. They look really happy. They're chatting about something, looking up, maybe gazing at the clouds as they pass. That's happiness, Sailix. Those are your parents. She didn't know she was expecting you yet. They'll know later. Let's take it later. And you see suddenly, shifting rapidly, the sun and the moon and the stars, and time has jumped forwards. The door is open. There's a sign. It's this residential area has been moved. It's become an apothecary. The city's expanded just a bit, but not much. You notice the figures of a pregnant elf, this woman, and a man working behind a counter. This is their house, but he's operating a business. The angel turns to Rune. What are you doing?
Nothing
I saw
important.
that. That's not funny, Rune. Shit. I had a plan.
You continue with your plan, mate.
No, you don't know how this place works. If you've done that, we've been spotted. Menoth knows where you are. All right, that's fine. This is worth dying over. So when you see them, you fight them. And I'll continue with my friend here, because he needs to know.
So Salix would recognize his mother, though, right? He only had like a few years.
You
with her
see
before
the
she died.
resemblance. You see a striking resemblance between herself and you. You never met your mother.
Yeah. So
You did, but
Salix
the memories are hazy.
would be pretty much fervently looking at said pregnant elf, trying to just memorize their face, knowing that you can't really interact in the dream world realm. He doesn't move to touch him.
Yeah, and it's vague. Every time you look at it, it's slightly different. Like it's being poorly, like a poor watercolor. She's eating the leaves off of some herb. Her husband is giving to her. Aldonis, make a perception check. Vesperin, you as well.
I don't
Move if
wanna.
you'd like. You're outside, over by the stream where it meets this river. This elven village is sort of built around that. Oh, the face of something, some woman with a snarl disappears behind a building. It's eerie. The bulging yellow eyes and sharp teeth, red hair, but just only for a fraction of a second, Vesperin, when you see it. Aldonis as well. She vanishes.
Hey, Rune.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Just-
saw something.
Yeah.
What the fuck you done?
Yellow eyes, red hair, big teeth.
Real mad.
Just saying.
Good to know. Keep an eye out. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, Sailix. It looks lovely, doesn't it? What a wonderful village. You've been here. This is the part where it gets quite sad. Suddenly, without the jump in time, it's night. You're inside. And the door is open. Nobody is in this shop, this apothecary. Come out with me. Would you?
Sailix is staying like really quiet the whole time, but he's following.
Let's go. This strange dichotomy of these two people. They walk out and turn a corner to head up a hill nearby. It leads to a small cliff. Rune, Aldonis, do you follow?
Yeah.
Sticking with
Coming
Rune.
up. Corvus spots it again. A face disappearing behind an object, a stone. You realize it's a tombstone. On this hill is a graveyard. And at the top, where the hill meets a cliff, the blonde-haired elf stands. This man comes up with Sailix. You see what he's holding? Look. You notice he's holding a wrap. It's a child, a newborn. And he stands over a grave. You notice this man beside you, this stranger that looks like you, his eyes are welling up. That's your father. And he points down, and that's your mother. Come. And he gets real close to this person, standing at the edge of the cliff where this final tomb, this final gravestone has been laid. Do you follow?
Yeah, no,
Is anybody else coming close here?
He's wrapped.
Oh, yeah.
Sailix is wrapped the fuck up right now.
Yeah, Rune's following. He's allowing Corvus and Marikai to keep an eye out.
Are you within earshot? Or are you close?
Well, he'll be following Sailix, so wherever Sailix goes.
Yeah. Vesperin's similarly following.
Right.
But she's also keeping
Standing.
an eye out on the, like, she'll be within earshot, but, like, she's also looking around for whatever the fuck.
Standing over the shoulders of this man holding the baby. The Celestial says, This is you. This is your father. This is your mother. She died giving birth to you. She was expecting too, because I died with her. There's a darkness that our Father won't overcome, not for years. So let's get there. And suddenly the clocks start to turn and shadows whipping around as the light is blurring. And suddenly, the graveyard is a bit fuller, and it's a bright, sunny day. You're standing on the top of this cliff here. The tombstone looks weathered, and you notice two kids running around down by the house. I'll let you take lead on this one, Sailix.
I presume it's him and Kellen running around.
Make a perception check. Two young elves with real bright hair. You like to think so. It's hard
You
to
don't know
tell from
what's-
here.
He's blind. He'd close in the distance.
Yeah, they've made their way up a trail. You remember it now. It's a dirt path leading from the apothecary, and as you look, the sign is still there. He's still running the business after all these years. But up that trail, winding up, he used to pick flowers there. Do you follow it?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right behind you, Sailix. Go on. He smiles.
If anything, he's starting to run, quickly.
Rush. We have time. And then he'll turn to Rune before Rune follows. Rune, we don't have much time.
Yeah, I didn't really think that was the case.
There's something following.
Yeah. They want this dream to be a nightmare. Not having it yet.
What happens to Sailix at the end of this journey?
I won't tell you.
All right, let me ask a very simple question. Will he be safe?
I hope so.
Does he mean it?
You can make a check.
Well, perception,
Does
diplomacy.
He
What would you like?
mean it. Perception.
There.
Let's get the standard. There's an
So,
expression. There's a look of pain in his face, though.
so, do you mind answering a question?
Looks to Aldonis.
Are you actually part of Sailix, or are you like some other being that's taking on his form, or what is this?
Yeah, what do you get out of all of this?
I don't like that question.
Well,
We're
I
not
asked
answering
it.
that question.
We're not
He-
answering. Okay, got it.
Melts into the floor. You see him several yards ahead, rise up with Sailix, who's now watching a couple of kids play while a man picks flowers.
Telling the truth? As best
He
as Rune
was.
could figure.
He really hopes he's okay.
So hey, Rune, did you catch that?
I did.
Yeah, that was weird.
Sailix mentioned something about some shadow magic.
Hmm.
Wonder if his brother is the other side. Something left over.
You mean Will, his half brother?
No.
Well,
As you make your way over to this small clearing, this little meadow.
you mean the way his face was all like leaking with the shadow bits?
Yeah. All right.
An elf with
Here's my-
medium.
Here's
Go
my
ahead.
assessment of this whole thing. Whatever that is, whatever echo of his brother or family, as far as I can tell, they don't mean any direct harm.
What did he mean though that you
did something to draw things to us.
So, I've spent a lot of time here in the dream, thanks to an entity called Menoth. Because of that, I was able to figure out how it worked. I wanted to see if I still had the tricks. Apparently, these tricks are a bit of a beacon to Menoth. So,
Hey,
we're going to keep an eye out for anything that clearly doesn't belong in whatever dream sequence this brother is taking Sailix down.
So I'm taking it that Manoff ain't he's not a good guy, yeah?
Menoth has been around for the last 20 years, doing his level best to hop between body to body in order to escape a punishment from the last time he was in Kintargo. Menoth is an entity that resides within the dream. It found its way here, but now it's stuck. It is likely looking for any way it can to get out. So we're going to allow Sailix to run through whatever he's got to run through and do our best to make sure that this story finishes. Does that seem fair?
Oh, are you super hurt still?
There are no parent wounds.
On Rune? Okay, never mind then.
Now, there is a very good chance that our bodies are still underwater in the real world. And we
Oh,
are, in
well.
fact, drowning.
Not me. I'm good.
Good to know.
All right. Well,
The elf.
oh,
Let's go see how the
puddle.
story goes along then.
You make your
Alright.
way up the path. A younger elf with medium blonde hair. He's showing a child. He looks just like a young Sailix. A tree, a large tree in the middle of this clearing. There's another elf, but he's wandered off. He's picking herbs. And the elf says to the boy, "You can pass through it. If you focus, just think about the other side. Think about it. Just concentrate." And slowly, he somewhat vanishes and reappears on the other side and falls to his knees. The father says, that's wonderful progress. You're doing fantastic. You should rest now. It's good work. Sailix, how do you respond?
He's probably just, his jaw is like rock solid at this point, and his fist is clenched. So he's just watching.
Sailix. He knew. He knew I was there. I never left. I stuck by you. From day one. I fucking died for you, Sailix. And now we're here. He wasn't ready to let me go. So he kept me around. He's going to look to the rest of the party. You see this. You've observed all of this. How do you react?
Rune is casting no judgment whatsoever. Just watching passively.
Aldonis is still very confused and mostly not looking at what's going on, but like looking for the creepy lady that was watching them earlier.
About halfway through the trail, you notice that hag you mentioned. She's smiling at you, rubbing her hands together.
Do I recognize her?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Hags, they seem to have a lot in common in terms of their appearance, and that they're painful to look at.
Mm-hmm.
And she recedes into the brush. Slipping away.
So, it's a hag. Don't ask me how I know.
A hag?
Yeah. That's what I saw.
I'm not ready for this dream to be a nightmare. Can you take
Well.
care of it?
You
Am I
continue doing what you need to do. We'll take care of the rest.
qualifying question. Will me casting spells that are not great in nature, or not good in nature, have any kind of, I don't know, ill effects or something? It will affect how I approach this situation.
Shy away from the magic, please.
Got it. Jaws and
least for now.
claws. Jaws and claws. Got it. Okay. And I shift back into warg form.
Interesting. Who's going to track this thing? I need a survival check. She seems to move without bobbing, without motion, as if she were hovering. But her feet aren't far off the ground. She's pulled in. Elven territory is known for very thorny brush. It's going to be hard to maneuver.
But I have light paws, which
Oh, good.
which means that I can ignore difficult terrain.
Yeah. I think I have something like that too.
Well, if you do, you can make a survival check to attempt to track this thing.
So I got a 25.
You're barely keeping up.
Ian,
Go ahead.
would you like a kind of cult check when it comes to trying to decipher what kind of hag this would be?
Let's do.
Ian, I have reactive pursuit, which says I can keep pace with a retreating foe. Does that help?
It will not work in combat. But if you'd
Okay.
like to try to maybe climb a tree, you could see where she's going.
All right.
Yeah, and for myself, I have experience tracker, which would allow me to track at full speed, but I would take a 5-point penalty for the survival check.
You can make another check if you're trying to catch up.
Yeah.
Do you
Yep,
want me to
just to see
just
how it
do
goes.
athletics then for climbing or acrobatics?
Let's do acrobatics for
Okay.
a leap.
27 on the
Oof.
occult check. Using assurance.
Well, some covens use pass wall, their own version of it.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably slipping through that way, taking shortcuts.
Damn it.
If you're trying to catch up, you need to be smart and not just fast. Vesperin, you managed to make it to the top of a tree, no problem. Aldonis, you feel like you're losing her.
Trying to see if I have anything else that will help that doesn't involve magic.
Can I use my messenger raven to follow it so that way Aldonis can see it and be able to like track that way?
Yeah, the messenger won't be able to trace it.
Yeah,
When
but
did-
like I can see her and like it goes where like is there a way it would be able to like follow it that way or no?
You could send it as a decoy to see
Mm.
how this hag might react, if you'd like.
No.
Rune, do you have any ideas?
Do I have any ideas?
Rune has many ideas. Not all of them are pertinent to the active situation.
So I guess the other angel noted not to use magic. Is that right?
That is correct.
Right.
Or at least when I asked. Because most
Right.
of my shit
Suddenly-
is necromantic.
As you're treading through, something pops up.
Oh hi.
A cage begins to form around you, Rune. You slip out in time, but it's dissembled around your foot. Effectively a bear trap. You're stuck. It's made of cold iron, perhaps? You hear the laugh of a hag. You've fallen into a trap. What do you do?
He's gonna try something very weird. He's gonna will the cage not to be there.
You're going to will the cage. Make a will save for me. To disbelieve. Aldonis, you see this. You're not far. What do you do?
I say, hey, I've dealt with your sisters in another plane before. Are you playing with us or are you actually trying to hurt people? Because we can play.
Rune. The cage begins to open to let your foot out. Then you hear, nice try, kitty. And then you're pulled in and it shuts. You got a 1 on that will save. You're stuck in a cold iron cage. There is no opening, let alone a lock to pick. Aldonis is nearby. I've rolled initiative for you, and I made it a stealth check for Vesperin. Top of initiative, Rune, what do you do? You see this hag creeping out from behind a tree, just hovering, peering in.
Pulling from his own connection to the dream and night, he will cast Forbidding Ward on himself, giving him an AC of +1 against the hag.
All right. You should be able to. I think you can see the hag, right?
Yeah.
There it is.
Nothing happens to the hag. I just get a +1 versus the hag and a modifier to any mental attack.
Vesperin, you see the hag slowly gliding towards Rune. What you do?
You're muted, Jen.
I'm trying to stab
Ooh,
it.
but damage is damage, and it is a hit.
Ooh.
Ooh, what does Balgora do?
Well, so it's a hit, right?
Yep.
I mean, ideally, it's I would want to fling it at like her leg or something like that to slow her down. Um,
Excellent.
And
It hits her thin calf, and you can see blood just black blood. It actually tears through the other side of the cloak before rematerializing in your hand. Catches her by surprise, and she turns to you. If you have 2 other actions, what do you do?
let's see. I feel like I would like to be invisible if I can. I don't know if I can or not.
Oh no, you can't use your
I
cloak.
can't. Okay.
It's already been moved.
All right, then I will. Can I try a feint then to get sneak attack again?
Yes, you may.
Okay. And that's deception, right?
Yep.
All right. That work?
Success.
Cool.
It's fainted. It's also spewing blood. Aldonis, what do you do? There's about 35 feet between you and her.
Is that 2 actions to do the feint?
Oh, sorry. You have 1 action left.
Yeah. So
You can make
can
another
I?
attack.
Yeah. Probably not.
It is a miss.
Alas.
All right. Well, I move and get interface. And I'm just like, pay attention, please. And then I bite her leg or something.
Bite it.
Make that bite for me.
Nom nom. Nope. Can I do it again?
You've got an action left.
Why is it not targeting? Oh, because I don't see them on the battle tracker, that's why. So does a 22 hit? No, probably
Does not.
Okay. Yeah, but I'll just stand in the way.
Excellent. And she very much notices it.
Well, that's good. Come get me.
She swipes at you with her claws.
Sure. It's fine.
36 is a hit.
Yep.
And you're grabbed.
Mm-hmm.
Another swing of the claw. As she latches on, she starts digging into you.
Mm-hmm. This whole...
And then a third as she begins to cackle. Pulling away, slashing away. You are heavily wounded.
Yeah.
As she just pulls tears on tears.
With that last one, though, I would totally do Blood Vendetta. I can't help it. So they have to do a will save.
All right. .23 is a fail.
Yes, it is.
Sailix, you actually hear much of this. I take it you might be fixated right now. Good.
So the hag gets 9 damage and it's persistent bleed until the bleeding stops. And the target is weakened, has a weakness of 1 to piercing and slashing damage.
All right. How much is the persistent bleed for?
9.
All right. Sailix, don't listen to that. I need you right now. This is the distraction we've needed, okay? Can you do that for me?
He'll look to him and just nod.
Listen, come close. And he's gonna sit with his feet crossed. Before you is your father. Over a century ago, he's cradling you. You're napping on his lap in this meadow. Sometime later, as you're growing up, Kellen isn't here. The young Kellen isn't, and he's whispering something to you, a lullaby in Elven, and he calls you Zestrix, not Sailix. You hear that? He's been waiting for a long time. This is what he wanted. He wanted me here with you. And it's been torture. This is the most I've been able to do in 177 fucking years, Sailix, so I need you right now to do this for me. From behind his back, he produces a tablet. It's cracked in half, missing. It's a semicircle. You recognize half of a butterfly. This is the Dreamstone. If we had it in both parts, this realm is ours. We can invoke reality here. This is what Menoth wants. But Menoth controls the other side. One half of this nightmare, it's him. And he needs to die.
How would you like me to kill him, Zestrix?
I'm not ready to tell you yet. You just wait. Okay?
177 years of waiting. What's a few more moments?
Thank you. Rune, it's your turn. You're in this cage. You feel quite confident you might be able to squeeze out, though. Physically or mentally, you made some headway. At least you like to think. What do you do?
Rune's gonna actually just stay right where he's at the moment and use second level soothe on himself.
Okay.
Give him some extra health. Because am I reading right? He's got 30 points of damage on him.
Yep. Actually, yes, you do. You still have an action if you'd like to try to escape.
His last action will be to give himself. He's calling upon Nethys to grant him some guidance. Save that one for later.
Esperin.
Okay. Do I get flanking? Because Aldonis is right there, or no?
No, not from that angle. If you were to jump down, you could probably flank.
That seems
Require
scary.
melee. Yeah, it's a bit messy.
Yeah, let's try to again. Do a feint.
All right.
Where's my deception? There it is. I don't think that worked. That did not work, right?
Double tap your skill. I know
yeah,
the DC.
Here we go. Is that a success?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Just barely.
Woohoo! Okay, cool.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
Yep.
That's a critical hit.
Yes!
Roll damage.
Okay. Is there does it automatically do crit damage when I roll the regular damage dice?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Yep.
Ugh. And then sneak attack.
Yep.
And it already has the bleed, right? Or does it get more bleed?
The bleed will pile on their turn,
Okay.
but it is now gushing blood profusely.
Okay. Is that really though? Because I thought the dice are like doubled.
Oh,
Yeah,
I applied a double.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at it going, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to run it double because it
Okay.
didn't connect.
Okay.
Aldonis,
Yep.
it's your turn.
So first thing I'm gonna do is, so is she still holding me?
Yep.
Okay.
You're still grabbed.
By what? What is she
The
grabbing
claws.
me by? By my claws? Great. I'm gonna bite her again.
Ian, that time could it have hit her in the eye? Because that was a crit.
I like that.
Yeah.
The one-eyed hag.
Yeah.
28 is a hit. Roll damage.
You know. Do I get pack attacks since I am surrounded by my pack? Or at least 2 of them?
Nope.
Damn it. Okay. So then I will oh shoot, I hit myself. Because I was
it's
gonna
fine.
heal
I'll adjust
myself.
that.
Thank you. And yeah, I'm gonna chomp again one more time. Right? Because touching the
Yep.
vital beacon would be, let me target the right person this time. There we go. So bite again. Hell yeah.
Roll damage.
A will.
Lash the neck.
Basically just chomping down a second time. And then thirdly, I'm gonna whip my tail back and forth and try to hit myself with my vital beacon to heal my
Well,
ass.
with that flailing.
Oh shit, I did it again. I'm sorry.
It's okay. With the flailing, you hear a. As your jaw was latched on, you managed to crack the neck, and light as she is, she falls in front of you as you hit the soft dirt. Sailix and his friend, they emerge from the path.
Can you apply that 20 heal to me?
Yes.
Thanks.
You've taken care of the hag, thank you.
Yep. No problem.
Now it's time for the part that you won't like. And I'm sorry, brother. Suddenly, the dirt before you disappears. You're back in the manor, in the ruined parlor. Except things have been brushed off to the side. It's empty in the center. There's a dead woman in the middle of the floor.
Do I recognize the woman? Do any
Make
of
a
us?
perception check.
Shit.
Rune, I'd like you to as well. Best friend,
Can
go
I?
ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, Sailix, you recognize this woman. Zestrix says, Sailix, I'm so sorry, but no, if you kill me, you die. We're connected here. And I'm not your enemy. But you did a very bad thing. Rune, Vesprin, Aldonis, you notice a woman. She's bloated and pale. like she had been drowned, laying peacefully with a look of horror on her face. Coming around to the side, you see the amulet in front of her. It's Monica. It looked as if she had been drowned. Now, before we get jumpy, I'd like to say that she's okay in a way. Sailix wouldn't have it anymore. It's important to rescue Kellen. I recognize that. I understand. He couldn't let this business with Monica get in the way. On the Scourge of Belial one night, he said goodbye and dropped her into the depths. Do you remember that, brother? He looks to you.
When he turns to look at Sailix, Sailix is right in his face. Like, teeth bared like a growling dog.
Oh, but see this?
Accompanied with the other growling dog, which is Aldonis.
Look at this. And he pulls a small knife, a kitchen knife, like he'd been using to eat. And he cuts along his cheek. Sailix, you feel the pain as blood drips down. We're not two people, not yet. If you want to kill me, you know what happens. I think you have other things to worry about, brother. We both do. And he's going to look to Rune. Rune, how are you responding to this? The amulet is cracked.
Rune is still in the cage, right?
No, we're in the mansion
No,
again.
everything is
Yeah.
disappeared.
Oh,
Now you're in the
everything
parlor.
bled away. All right, sorry,
Yeah.
I missed that part.
No, you're fine.
So Rune hears about the pendant and just looks at Sailix and cocks his head to one side. Was that you, the other you? The one who hates everyone and everything. Wanted murder and destruction, eh? Is that the one who got rid of her? Too much pain to handle? It's alright to say yes.
Like, he doesn't take his eyes off of Zestrix. He just... Yes.
Sailix. It's alright. I forgive you. She was my friend too. And I miss her very much. You can't let that pain decide who you are now. We fought too many wars together, really. Listen, I know you've lived centuries, you've seen more things than I can even imagine. And I'm not going to guess that I know what pain you're dealing with. And when I saw what happened to Kellen so long ago now, I wanted to stay there to help. I just couldn't. They wouldn't let me. But yeah, whatever pain you're feeling, you're not alone. We've all fought this together.
I feel like so Rune, while you're saying that like to Sailix and Sailix gave his answer like
Vesperin's face just kind of looks like, it is obvious. Like, she can't hide that, like, this doesn't sound right. And, she'd, like, look at you and just kind of lightly shake her head.
Destrix is going to pick up the amulet. It's still held together, but the gem itself is shattered. She lies at the bottom of the ocean, faced up, wondering what she did wrong.
She
At least she
died.
would have. No, it's a squirmy little amulet. Sailix, you don't even know this yet, but it followed us. Oh, it followed us. And when the waters wrapped us up and sent us to Dreamgate, she came with. Oh, she's here. She is here, and that's not it. Someone else is here, too. I think you should follow me. He's gonna back away towards a door that's appeared. This manor's a great place to explore. Let's find old friends. And then echoing as he's already steps away. Are you coming?
Rune just looks at Sailix.
Does Sailix respond? I am terrified of that elf. So, does anybody follow first?
Aldonis does, but not before like shoving Salix to the side. Like if a warg could have the look of abject betrayal and rage at the same time, that is the face that Aldonis has, because his father figure dumped the last piece of his mother in the ocean. And
Right.
yeah.
Rune would like to buck this host of ours wishes and create something. What do I need to do?
Well, what you used to do around these parts, it was more of your dream and less of a dream land. So it's quite competitive now. As if you were crafting something, perhaps.
Oh,
Or a
I've
spell
got a
that could
crafting
emulate.
lens just for that sort of thing.
Perfect.
So yeah, Rune pulls out a lens, puts it in the typically missing eye, even though both are gone right now. And he looks over to the wall and he points at it, looking at Sailix. Do you remember that? And it, on the wall, as Sailix looks, a picture frame of the tavern. Our tavern. Back at Breachhill. Reka, Rune, Monica. Just a typical night. One of the few that they had. Sitting around the fire, enjoying drinks. There's even a chicken next to the director.
Is it actually there?
Yeah.
Salix walks past it and he throws it on the floor, stepping on it. He's like, some things are gone and need to stay gone. As he walks through the door after his brother.
Well, got him to move anyway.
So I feel like when Sailix is out of earshot, Vesperin would like look at Rune and be like, "So I don't know Sailix as well as you do,
but the one you stopping as being the evil one is that one that. So, you know, the cranky one, that's the one that done it. In case that wasn't obvious.
Oh, I got that part.
Just a question. Does Vesperin notice that it's a halfling?
What?
Monica?
The body of Monica that you've never seen before.
It's obvious that it's a halfling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just wondering.
Rune, make a perception check for me as you're walking along these halls. You notice something.
Perception,
Damn,
you
you
said?
spent so much time. Yeah, you've spent so much time in this place when it was something else. You notice where it breaks again. A crack where the seams are supposed to meet, and something is off by just a hair, and it's enough to leave things broken, papery. There's a feeling of thinness, like a vulnerability. Zestrix doesn't notice it. He and Sailix keep walking. What do you do?
Is it just the one? Or is now that he's seen it, does he see others?
You don't see others. This is a weak spot, though, it seems.
Rune will look at Vesperin. Listen. There's a tear here that I can pull at. A weak spot in the house. I'm not in the best mind to make this decision. Should I pull this thread?
No. Because again, the last time you fuck with it, that's how we got the hag. And we don't know what's going to come out if you fuck with it more.
All right. Following Sailix.
Notice the hallway curves again and passes out of sight. Sailix is not far ahead of you, but suddenly, as it readjusts and straightens, he's gone. They both are.
Wait, I disappeared?
As Sailix, as you look back, you're beside Zestrix. You look back, your friends are no longer behind you.
I was keeping up with, I was with
Oh, then you're
Zestrix.
with them.
Yeah.
So, Vesperin and Rune, they're gone. They've abandoned us.
So about pulling that thread.
Okay, so help me understand the pros and cons pulling this thing. Would it actually do what you think it's gonna do? Because if it's just
Oh.
gonna collapse everything on us, that's not better.
Well, that's just it. I don't know what it's going to do. All I know is that this place is made up of someone's memory, someone's dream. A crack in the dream can break it down, give you access to the backstage, so to speak.
Backstage.
And that could be good
Alright.
or bad.
Alright, fuck it. So, Callistria, if you're listening, venge me should I fall by this awful fucking wizard. No
Why does
offense.
everyone blame me about the dream? Bruno will
Pull the
stick his
thread.
hand into the crack and just sort of pull it away.
And it begins to tear, peering through a kaleidoscope, if you will, the marble, dark, and light patterns that make up the architecture and the designs of this place just sort of explode into something you can't explain until it coalesces again into something else. You're in the middle of a coliseum, an arena. There's nobody here. But Kellen is at the center of it.
Hello
He's
there, old
crouching.
friend.
There's somebody by him.
What does it look like?
You can't tell. It's an occlusion, a pool of darkness. He looks
Walk
at
in his
you,
direction.
tears streaming down his face. You.
Kellen.
If Sailix is here, we've already lost.
Well,
You
maybe
You said that before. What?
maybe
Yes,
if you fought a bit, we could help you out.
No, fighting's where we lose. But it might be too late. Look, that you're here and Sailix is here, it means Manoth might have won.
Well, let's not get too hasty now, shall we?
Somebody came here before you. An old friend of yours. He needed the gates, he needed to go home. And the darkness fades. You see a gnome covered in gray flesh, his hair pale, and he's babbling a bit, but sort of bobbing his head. He can barely sit. He wanted to find his friend. He couldn't have picked a worse time to come. He got past the triad, but Menoth has other plans for him. And that's why we're here.
Going
And you
to
look out.
grab Kellen by the throat. Listen here, you sniveling little son of a bitch. You are going to get your ass together. You're going to tell us what is going on. And you're going to tell me how to fix this. Because if you don't, I will tear this place down brick by brick. I give you my word.
You could give me that mercy. Do it in front of him. And he points. You look up. Where there should be a throne, maybe, for a coliseum, is just a large opening. Sitting is a colossal aboleth, staring at you with 3 vertically stacked, blinking red eyes, fins. It's floating in the sky. There's no sky, actually. It's all blackness. You can see the pillars off in the distance, though. You're somewhere else in this realm. Back to Sailix.
Manoth, it's a pleasure.
Sailix, you're walking along the halls. You can't tell if you've been doing this for hours, though. You think you're lost. Okay. Aldonis, let's have a chat, Zestrix says. And he's going to sort of sit on his knees and lean against a wall. He's resigned. It looks like he's expecting defeat.
If you're quitting now, I'll kill you if you like, and I'll just find my own way.
You'd be killing Sailix.
Yeah, right now I don't care.
Right. Okay. This is what's going to happen. Somewhere in this dream lies an invocation. Thoughts and illusions, they can become reality. The dead can come to life. Anything can happen. One such dead is Menoth Aguro. He doesn't want to be dead anymore. Menoth, he wants to come back. It's been the plan for many years.
So that's the tentacle thing that was in Rune and is no longer in Rune, right?
Right about now, it's all the same.
Okay, just making sure we're on the same page. So how do we stop him from coming back?
There are very few choices here.
Okay, well, telling us the choices that are before us is more helpful than telling us what's not.
Rune needs to die. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Well, it's a thing.
Menoth has one half of the Dreamstone. As long as Menoth lives, we can't control this place, and we can't escape.
And he can't die unless Rune dies.
That's correct.
I vaguely remember something like that being said. Well, shit.
He's going to get up from his knees and get really close to Sailix. And just sort of cheek to cheek, whispering. He knows you're going to hear it, but he's trying to avoid it anyway. Sailix, brother. I can bring you to Rune. But until his heart stops beating, Kellen can't come out of here. Would you do it?
Take me to the wizard.
Okay. He's tearing up again. And suddenly you find yourself in the center of this arena. In addition, an audience. Hundreds, maybe thousands. And now that void above turns into a sky. Do you feel like you're in the material plane once again? People cheer you on, people you know don't exist. So an ice wall forms, separating the arena in half. It's circular. Sailix, Aldonis, Zestrix is on one side, Vesperin, Rune, and Kellen is on another. Suddenly, the director fades into purple-ish dust, as does Kellen. And they reappear on two pedestals beside the massive cephalopod-looking aberration that is a colossal aboleth. He stares intently at the show as these false faces, they cheer you on. On the third pedestal is Monica. Zestrix says to you, Sailix, as he backs up, we have seconds, not minutes. If you die, I die. I can't be a part of this. But if you kill Rune, we're out of here. And on the other side, as you feel the ice start to thin, Menoth speaks and the crowd hushes. Rune, do you understand what you need to do?
That's Rune Ravenswood to you.
The aboleth doesn't have an expression, it just blinks. These large eyes at you. Zestrix holds what I need in the Dreamstone. You bring me the Dreamstone. The Director and Modica make it out the other side. Alive and unharmed. I can bring the dead back to life. You know I can.
Listen here, you legless son of a bitch. I will bring everyone back to life if I can. And you'll have no part of it. Now come on down here. Let's have a chat, shall we?
It looks like you're busy. And the ice wall suddenly melts into the ground. You look in front of you. Sailix, with a halo wide, wings outstretched, and a sword in his arms. But that's where we're going to end off tonight, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed.
Son of a...
I have a lot of stuff I need to go over.
Whoa.
But be ready. I love you all, and thank you guys for watching. If you like this show and you want to see what happens in episode 30, please subscribe and follow. We're gonna do outros. You guys can take it. Let's start with Mr. Smith.
Hello, I'm Mr. Smith. I am now the utterly confused, pissed off, and terrible wizard for the evening.
Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I played the loving rogue who is similarly confused, pissed off, and just doesn't know what the fuck is happening. You can find me at savagesparrow.com and Savage Sparrow all other places on the internet.
Spence.
I am Spence, and I played Aldonis, the warg who is torn and betrayed and angry. And yeah, you can see me here on Twitch just about every day, twitch.tv/Resonant Moon.
Daniel.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I played Sailix, and I was directing tonight. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster tonight, so that was great.
That was something. Well, a special thanks to our sponsor, Smiteworks, for Fantasy Grounds Unity. If you like what you saw, this is all in the virtual tabletop. Highly recommend you check it out, Fantasy Grounds Unity. I'm pretty sure you can pay monthly or you can pay one time, but it is fully worth it, and just top tier for virtual tabletop. So check it out. Also, follow or subscribe if you want to see what happens next for our special episode 30. And special thanks to The Only Sheet for our resident wizard, as well as Michael Gelfi and Rock Narden for the music. But I'm going to let you go now to get some sleep ahead of more spooky stuff to come.
That's right. The next thing is our mini campaign of Legend of Five Rings. That's on Wednesday.
Ooh,
It's at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
check it out. All right, good night, guys.